Hi there, real quickly here to say these long form videos are gonna be mainly worked on, in the weekends stuff, because that's when I have the most time. Also, if you're wondering why the hell I haven't uploaded in a while, I was working on this video for a pretty long while, but then suddenly, UnknownSpy sent me a link about an entire Google Doc of 170 pages of just lore, and I was like, well, time to research that for a bit, and then I realized I haven't uploaded in a while, so, might as well real quickly finish this video. So, yeah, the entirety of this video was recorded in, April? And I'm here today, to talk about something that I noticed in episode 8 of fucking murder drones. Mainly, how the missiles in this episode don't make any sense. And I think that has something to do with the lore. Okay, so first of all, we see how the gravity on the weird planet thing that Jay and the others are on is very strong, and then she manages to just shoot a missile straight forward, even though when she tried to, fly, she, onto the ice or whatever. Yeah, sure, okay, but you can see that the missile did a fucking curve. It curved. Remember that, because the missile knows where it is. And then the missile just proceeds to get smacked by a tail and then kicked by V and does not explode. I have an actual fucking Google site which basically explains that when the missile makes physical contact with the targets, it will explode. This is a bit more than physical contact. This is a tail swipe and a kick. Also, I'm pretty sure that how everything was positioned, the missile is like in a straight line between between J and the targets. So when it was kicked back, it should go in a straight line to J. But it fucking curves around her. That doesn't make sense. That's not what it's supposed to do. Why? It's supposed to go straight. Also, the missile switches between like a big explosion and just a tiny explosion throughout the entire episode. But it's the same missile model, should be the same missile and the same explosion. It makes no sense. Okay, so right here, V shoots J in like 5 centimeter apart range, correct? And you can see that the explosion is tiny as fuck. Okay, V may not get hit by the explosion because apparently it's tiny. What happened to the knockback though? Because I don't think you know this, but once a missile explodes, that's a lot of air being like pushed away. So, like nothing happened. It's just kaboom with no knockback at all. Huh? Okay, so right here, V shoots 3 missiles, Sin swipes them away with the fucking tail thing, and they explode because of the contact, right? They explode because they make contact, and that makes them, like hard contact. And then N proceeds to kick a missile, and it doesn't explode, and it does a perfect 180, and it launches directly back at Sin. Ha! So then, Sin stops it with the solver thing. Okay, that makes a little bit of sense, because the solver doesn't, directly touch the thing. But then N proceeds to cut her fucking head off, and the missile, flies in the air or something. I don't know. If it flies in the air, then I'm pretty sure N made contact with the fucking missile, so why didn't it explode? That was a full-on sword. That was a sword hit. That should have done some damage. And then it just perfectly lands down. And Sin manages to catch it again with the solver. Okay, how did you do that without eyes? Your head is literally backwards. And then V fucking shoots at her, and all the bullets curve around, but they don't curve around the missile, so I'm sure that at least one of them would have hit the missile, and that's a fucking bullet straight through the missile! At least, even if it didn't go straight through, that's still a bullet contact! That should have exploded it! Sin also throws it away, and then it's a giant explosion instead of the tiny ones that we've had the last couple of times! That looks like the same size of explosion, but it's a good 20 fucking meters away, so that's way bigger in comparison! Also, where is the flash? There's a brief flash of light before every single missile hit! What is happening? Then 2 missiles fucking fall and they explode because they hit the ground. That's fucking snow! You're telling me that somebody kicking the missile while it's going at miles per hour doesn't explode it, but a slight contact with the snow does? Ha! Also, we get a tiny explosion again! and this time the explosion causes smoke! That hasn't happened the last couple of times! So why am I talking about this? Because I think this has something to do with the fucking lore! Because, you see, I think that the missiles are working with Sin. Now hang on for a second, alrighty? So whenever Sin fucking touches the missiles, they don't explode except for when the tentacles swipe. Then whenever the missile is near enough to her that it would cause actual damage, they don't explode. Also, Sin... The fucking missile that V kicketh to J curved around her. It curved. It made it fucking it changed its direction to like perfectly avoid J. That seems a little convenient, don't you think? Also, Sin just fucking yeets the missile at V once, and we all know that the missile should have turned around and went back at Sin, because that's a missile that V shot like a few minutes ago. Well, more few seconds, because you can't waste a single second with a 20-minute video. And it just doesn't, like, go back to the target that's supposed to hit what it's supposed to do, because we all know this. The missile knows where it is at all times. It knows this because it knows where it isn't. By subtracting from where it is or where it isn't, or where it isn't from where it is, whichever one is greater, it obtains a difference, or deviation. The guidance system uses the deviation to generate corrective commands to drive the missile from a position where it is to a position where it isn't. And arriving at this position where it isn't, it now is. Consequently, the position where it is now the position where it wasn't. And it follows that the position that it was is now the position that it isn't. In the event that the position that it is in is not the position that it wasn't, the system has acquired a variation. The variation begins the difference between where the missile is and where it wasn't. In the variation is considered to be a significant factor, it may be corrected by the GEA. However, the missile also must know where it was. The Missile Guardian computer scenario works as followed. Because the variation has modified some of the information the missile has obtained, it is not sure just where it is. However, it is sure where it isn't within reason. And it knows where it was. It now subtracts where it should be from where it wasn't, or vice versa, by differentiating this from the algebraic sum of where it shouldn't be and where it was. It is able to obtain the differentiation and its variation, which is called error. So basically, the missile should have fucking course corrected back to Sin. So, that's why I think the missiles and Sin are working with me. Case closed. This is confirmed lore. Fuck you all who say it isn't. I know my shit. And you wanna know the funniest thing about this all? April fucking